The past couple of weeks have been traumatic for Kenya as the nation reels from yet more terrorist attacks. Kenyans have seen terrorists succeed at striking fear into many hearts, but have also seen the young spirit of satrin osinya conquer an impossible battle at a young age. The battle lines have been re-emphasized by government. But a counterpoint to this strategy was the shooting to death of Abu Bakr shariff alias Makaburi on Thursday. How does the country define his death? How does this inform the nation's security strategy going forward? Tonight, John-Allan Namu has prepared a special report in which he re-examines some of the fault lines in the war on terror, looking specifically at one latter-day poster child for terrorism in Kenya, radicalization.
If you were listening out for the response to the murder of Abu Bakr makaburi shariff, it was in the air on Friday afternoon, growling from the loudspeakers of the Masjid Shuhuda.
Sasa hivi makafiri wapatikane hawana vichwa, wauliwe kabisa Waislamu. Na ikiwa wewe basi waona kwamba kutimua ni kionekani ya kikataa, basi wewe kafiri unaishi naye mtaani, dunga kitu, imeruhusiwa.
Words that would hurt the ears of anyone who thought that radical thought was buried with Makaburi or Sheikh Ibrahim Rogo or Sheikh Abu Rogo.
This is the time to oppose our legacy of tolerance to evil innovation, of radicalization, which insinuates that our war against terror is a conflict of religions or a battle of cultures. It is no such thing.
The death of baby Satrin Osinya's mother Veronica in the Likoni church attack, his own survival by the skin of his teeth, and Makaburi's death side by side seem like a mismatch. A defenseless baby defying a terrorist's bullet against a shooting to death of a man who supported Kenya's enemy, the Al-Shabaab.
Terming Al-Shabaab as killing innocent people, then we will have to also categorize the Mau Mau as as terrorists, the ANC as terrorists.
Sisi lazima tuamrishane mema na tukatazane mabaya. Kuamrishana mema ni kama haya kwamba vijana tuwatahadharisha. Vijana wadogo walikuwa wanapelekwa huko, lazima tuwakanye na tuseme hii njia hii si sawa. Ni wajibu wetu viongozi wa kidini ambao wasiposema pia itakuwa ni dhambi kwa kesho kwa Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
The tone of the government has clearly changed.
Yale ambaye ataendelea hivi karibuni tuwauliza wa Kenya mtuunge mkono.
With President Uhuru Kenyatta asking for Kenyan support in, quote, whatever we are going to do, end quote. A large number of people agree with the president on this. No more talk.
There are people that have dedicated their hearts, their minds, and their lives to make the lives of other people difficult, to make the so-called civilization look amok. And these people go to any extreme, including radicalizing our children.
If mtu amebeba bunduki, surely, anataka kuua kama ile ya bunduki juzi, anataka ingia hapa bridge yetu. Mnataka county government akae tu aseme bwana mshike pole pole. Shoot to kill.
But there is one deadly context to this latest turn of events at the coast that is worrying many observers: the growing problem of radicalization. Thursday, the 23rd of January 2014. Shops have just opened along this street off the main Malindi roundabout. A hardware store's CCTV camera records the events of the early morning. Mohammed Bahushwain is about to pull into this street. It's alleged that he was going to meet with a police officer to discuss new developments in the murder of one of his associates, Faiz Mohammed. What he doesn't know is that he's being followed by 3 men on a motorcycle. Bahushwain pulls into the street in his Nissan X-Trail SUV. The motorcycle pulls up in front of him. A man dressed in a white shirt, this man here, gets off the motorcycle and approaches the driver's side window. The CCTV clock reads the time as 8:14 and 46 seconds when this man pulls out a pistol and fires off 3 shots just as this rickshaw passes in front of the window, obscuring the view from this camera. Within 10 seconds, he's back on the bike and rides off with his co-perpetrators. It takes a few minutes before the shocked members of the public who were around realize what happened and who it is that has just been murdered. Christopher, not his real name, an associate of Mohammed Bakr, tells me why this murder was significant. Mohammed Bakr was a police reservist for many years and by many local accounts also was an informant for American spy agency, the Central Intelligence Agency. It's claimed that he was a key cog in the information chain about emergent threat, the Al-Shabaab. His murder was more indicative of a shift in the current concerns about a radicalizing coastal region than more people realize. The early morning murder of Mohammed Bakr down that street in Malindi lays bare a number of issues in this battle. One of those is a battle for information. On the one hand, the battle to suppress that information by his killers, who by police accounts are Al-Shabaab adherents. But on the other hand, is a battle to save information from informants. By many accounts, Mohammed Bakr was one of them, and they are being picked off by suspected Al-Shabaab adherents. But this battle is brutalizing day by day. Mohammed Bakr was killed by 3 bullets, 2 to the head and 1 to the chest. But there was a far more brutal murder than his that happened about a month earlier. Faiz Mohammed, a colleague of Mohammed Bakr, was beheaded in broad daylight.
Ndio kuna dadangu mwingine hapo ndio akanifuata. Ndio akaniambia lakini sasa hili neno hatujawa na hakika. Lakini amepigiwa simu mama ameambiwa kwamba Faiz tushamuua lakini hao watu hawakujieleza ni kina nani.
Walikuja kuleta pita, mara wanamchinja, sijui kama mliona. Mara wameweka kichwa juu ya. Sasa hapo kidogo ikatuletea athari zaidi. Nikasema mimi hapa sitaweza kubaliana na hii na nitafuacha haya mambo na hata kama nife lakini nijue kwamba mimi ndugu yangu nimejua hili jambo hili lilitokea ni vipi.
Faiz's relatives point to a murder that was a game changer in the fight against terrorism at the coast. His was amongst the first of targeted murders perpetrated by suspected Al-Shabaab adherents. Then came Bakr's murder.
He was very close with late Faiz, and late Faiz was from a group of Al-Shabaab.
Malindi DCIO John Ndungo, who spoke to us on phone, says that for now the link between these 2 murders is anecdotal, with no real connection other than Bakr and Faiz's friendship. But Malindi-based police officers, speaking confidentially, claim that not only are they linked, but that there is a kill list authored by the Al-Shabaab of yet more suspected informants. According to Christopher, the murders of Faiz and Bakr were celebrated by supporters of his killers, many of whom, he says, belong to the controversial Masjid Shuhuda. In the mosque, though, the young men who speak to me deny that any amongst them would perpetrate such an act, but freely admit that it is informants who they claim are supplying the police with false information that ought to be dealt with.
Kwanza nikikujua wewe ni jasusi, nitakumaliza. Lakini sasa kijana mimi, sijawahi ona kijana mwenzangu wala hatujawahi fanya tukio la kummaliza jasusi. Na iwapo tutalifanya hilo jambo, tutaona raha. Kwa sababu tunatamani kama leo tumalize majasusi.
It's serious. It has reached levels that, have become alarming. And everyone who is claimed to be a spy, no one brings forth evidence to show that this one is a spy or not.
Why are we letting a few extremists win the ideological battle against us? When as a government, if we have moderate, one of the frontiers where this ideological battle has been fought is in the Islamic religious frontier. Why can't the government invest in the moderate sheikhs?
What Hisham's spiritual mentors, Makaburi and Sheikh Rogo, represented in life was the extreme ideology that supports the slaughter of innocent people. But their controversial assassination appears to be driving some here further away from the middle ground that many Kenyans now seek. Police say that extrajudicial killing claims are more urban legend than fact, but are they? In August last year, we went to Kiembeni in Mombasa to gather information about the murder of Salim Nyiro by the police for an investigative report on extrajudicial killings at the coast. We spoke to the then 17-year-old Twalha Hassan, Nyiro's brother-in-law, who was in the house when police stormed in, having apprehended Nyiro, leading him to his bedroom and shooting him 6 times in the head. He was withdrawn and sullen when we spoke to him, still in mourning. Less than a year later, we're in Ukunda to interview Twalha again. In his palm is a picture of his father, Suleiman Mayuyu, who we also met last year. It is the only picture that Twalha has of his father. That and his memory, because Suleiman was shot to death by suspected police officers in Tiwi on the 5th of December last year.
Akafika Tiwi pale, kuna gari kwa wamfuata nyuma. Ndo kwa kuna jamaa yani ameingia ndani ya gari, baba ameingia ndani ya hiyo Nissan na jamaa akaingia jamaa mmoja. Huko nyuma kuna gari nyingine hawafuata. Akafika mpaka Tiwi, jamaa ndo akasema, akaona pale hapana nyumba, akasema nishukisheni hapa. Ndo aliposhukishwa ndo akamalizana naye.
2 persons went inside the matatu, went straight to where he was seated, and they shot him at point blank range.
Today he is less withdrawn than he was last year. His calm demeanor cracks, letting through hot wisps of rage at the people who he believes caused his father's death. Men he suspected are police informants.
Hawa majasusi, hawa kuwaua ni haki, maana utamuuzaji mwenzako auliwe, afu upone na watoto wako huko na familia yako, huku ule muuza akauliwa, watu wake wapata shida, kuna wewe untulia tu na familia yako.
Our youth are taking sides on this whole issue, and it is this taking sides that is now causing a lot of concern amongst us.
Kwanza tumetoa tahadhari mapema ile vijana wasijihusishe, wasijiingize ile magrupu haya ama vijana kupelekwa Somalia. Tumepinga sana.
But on the other side of this war are tens of families who still mourn their loved ones who perished in the Westgate Mall attack and the latest outrage, the Likoni church shooting. Baby Osinya is only one case in point. The bullet lodged in his skull was successfully removed earlier in the week, but his father and brother barely had time to celebrate the medical miracle. They laid Satrin's mother to rest yesterday. A very traumatic time for the Osinyas that has been captured for Satrin to read about and watch once he's old enough to understand the tragedy that befell his family.
The government should espouse the rule of law at any one given time. It should be seen as a government that believes in the law, that practices law, that does not, abuse its right as a government over anyone. However, at the same time, it should be seen as a strong government. When somebody breaks the law, walks into a church and shoots innocent people worshiping, then the government machinery should roll into town in a manner that it will be known government was here.
And as the government grapples with the rising challenge of insecurity, big questions remain. Are the growing claims of extrajudicial killings of suspects helping in the fight against terrorism or simply fueling it?
There were people already in that cause of extremism even before anyone was dead. So I think a great ideology informs extremism than the death of their perceived leaders.
Can extrajudicial killings justify the mayhem witnessed at Westgate or at the Likoni church? And can the government find a way of stemming the threat of terror without breaching the law of the land? These questions are part of a conversation that has yet to take place. John-Allan Namu, KTN.
And that conversation is about to take place in just a short while from now. We thank you for watching. We want to take a short break. You're watching KTN's special coverage, Tide of Terror. We will be right back.